Welcome to continue part of Mysore division. Yes, in the previous class I have taught you about the natural resources of Mysore division. Yes, so Mysore division has varied climate. Yes, and the Udupi and Dakshin Kannada, these two districts have a coastal region. Yes, and the Udupi district, it receives highest rainfall, whereas the Mandya district, it receives the lowest rainfall. Yes, and the special, that is the main crops are grown in the Mysore division are ragi, paddy, green gram, horse gram, maize, and other crops. Okay, and also some commercial crops are also there. Yes, like coffee, sugarcane, tobacco, yes, cardamom, orange, and cashew nuts. Okay, and also, so Mysore division, it has natural resources. Yes, so for example, the feldstein, it is the only minerals that are found in the Mysore division, and also bauxite is there, chromite, limestone, manganese, granite. These are the minerals that are available in Mysore division. Yes. So let's see next one important thing, that is forest, wildlife, and national parks of Mysore division. Yes. So Mysore, it is a land of forest. Yes, and among the Mysore division districts, so you can observe Mysuru, Kodagu, Chikmagaluru, and Hassan. These are the districts which have a dense forest. Yes, so Mysuru, Kodagu, Chikmagaluru, and Hassan. So these districts have a dense forest. And Bandipura, Nagarhole, yes, Bandipura, Nagarhole, Male Mahadeshwara Betta, and Pushpagiri. These are the famous forest areas of Mysore division. Yes, and a variety of minor forest produce provide livelihood for many tribes in this division. Yes, so there are so many tribes in this division, and the Mysore districts, so district of Mysore division are home to many tribal communities. Yes, so like Jenukurba, yes, so they are lived in Mysore and Chamarajnagar district, whereas Koroka, it is a tribal community, they are lived in Dakshin Kannada and Udupi district. Whereas Malay Kudiya, yes, they lived in Kodagu and Dakshin Kannada and Soliga, yes, they lived in Chamarajnagar. Yes, so these are some important tribal communities of Mysore division. So also, apart from this, Yarwa, Hakipiki, Halsa, and Medara tribes are also present in this division. Yes. Next, tiger. Yes. So tiger, it is our national animal. Yes. And tiger conservation project is in force in our state. Yes. In the year 1973, the tiger project, it has came into existence for saving the tiger. Yes, and 3 tiger conservation project out of 5 projects of the state are in this division. So they are, first one is Bandipura, next Nagarhole, and third one is Bhadra. So these 3 tiger conservation projects are in the Mysore division. Yes, and similarly elephant protection project are in force too. Yes, so there are tiger protection for tiger conservation project is also there, and also elephant conservation project is also there in Mysore division. Yes. So elephants are killed for their tusk and tigers are killed for their skin. So it is very valuable things. Yes. So that's why elephants and the tigers were killed. And elephant and tiger protection project are implemented to protect them from poaching. Yes. And Karnataka has the highest number of tigers in India. Yes. So Karnataka, it is only one state which has the highest number of tigers in India. Yes. Next, then after Madhya Pradesh will come. Yes. So first Karnataka, it is the highest tigers. Yes. And Mysore division has the highest number of wildlife and bird sanctuaries in the state. Yes. So there are some bird sanctuaries that are in Mysore division. Yes. So among them, Ranganatittu Bird Sanctuary and Udupi Bird Sanctuary, Kokrebelluru Bird Sanctuaries are the major bird sanctuaries that are in the Mysore division. Yes. And also Melukute Wildlife Sanctuary is there, Malay Mahadeshwar Wildlife Sanctuary, and Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary, and Pushpagiri Wildlife Sanctuary. So these are the wildlife sanctuaries in the Mysore division. And also two national parks are in Mysore division. Yes. So namely Rajiv Gandhi Nagarhole National Parks, that is in Mysore district, and second one is Bandipura National Parks, that is in Chamarajanagar district. Yes. And wild elephants are tamed using the technique called Kedda operation. Yes. So this is all about forest, wildlife and national parks of Mysore division. Yes. So as we know, Mysore, it is a land of forest. So Mysuru, Kodagu, Chikmagalur and Hassan district have a dense forest. Yes. And whereas the Bandipura, Nagarhole, Malay Mahadeshwara Betta and Pushpagiri, these are the some famous forest areas. Okay. And you can find the different tribal communities, they are lived in the Mysuru division, like Jenu Kurba is there. Yes. And the Hakki Pikki. Yes. And the Malay Kudiya. Yes. And Soliga tribes. And also Yarawa, Hakki Pikki, Halasa and Medara. These are the some important tribes that are lived in present Mysore division. And also here are 3 tiger conservation projects is there. Yes. So they are Bandipur, Nagarhole and Bhadra. Yes. And also elephant project, that is elephant protection project, is also implemented in Karnataka. Yes. And the highest number of tigers, that is in Karnataka. Yes. And also there are so many bird sanctuaries are there, like Ranganatittu Bird Sanctuary is there, Udupi Bird Sanctuary is there, Kokrebelluru Bird Sanctuary is there. Yes. And Melukute Wildlife Sanctuary, Malay Mahadeshwar Wildlife Sanctuary and Kaveri Wildlife Sanctuary, Pushpagiri Wildlife Sanctuary. Yes, these are the some important wildlife sanctuaries in the Mysore division. Yes. And also 2 national parks in the Mysore division, namely Rajiv Gandhi or the Nagarhole National Park in Mysore and also Bandipura National Park in Chamarajanagar. Okay. So this is all about Mysore divisions, forest, wildlife and national parks. So there is a small video that is related to the Bandipura National Parks. Yes. So okay, watch that video. Okay, and thank you for watching video.
welcome to the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. Bandipur is part of a belt of forests that houses the highest number of tigers in the whole of India. So clearly something is going right. But there are a lot of challenges ahead and a lot that still needs to be done. Over the next half hour, we'll take you inside Bandipur to take a closer look at the efforts to save and protect India's magnificent tiger. Bandipur is part of the Nilgiris biosphere and is about 80 kilometers from Mysore in Karnataka. The area was a private hunting reserve of the Mysore Maharajas back in the 1930s. In 1941, it became the Venugopala Wildlife Sanctuary and came under Project Tiger in 1973. The park now covers 874 square kilometers as the Bandipur Tiger Reserve. This is an area which has actually seen the population of tigers increasing. With a density of 1 tiger per 8 square kilometers, the area is recognized as one of the highest density zones of the big cat by the Global Tiger Protocol. And we can vouch for at least one. We are an excited bunch of people right now because we just saw a tiger. Thanks in part to the number of tigers in Bandipur, Karnataka has overtaken Madhya Pradesh as the Indian state with the largest number of tigers. If you take this whole forest region into consideration, including Nagarhole and Tamil Nadu's Mudumalai and Kerala's Wayanad, this becomes the area which has the largest number of tigers in the world.
See, the tiger indicates the health of a forest. It is at the apex of the ecosystem. So if the prey base is good, if the fodder is good, if the trees are good, tiger numbers will be high, the densities will be high. So I guess our forests are doing very well.
In the overall grim scenario surrounding the protection of the national animal, an area where the number of wild tigers is actually growing is precious indeed.
When our park was declared as a Project Tiger during 1973, our tiger population just 11. Now, presently we have got 105. Rigid protection is the main thing to increase their population. We have got surplus prey population. So that is also added advantage. And one more advantage is there is no settlement inside the national park.
The Bandipur National Park home to an estimated 105 tigers. But just outside the park boundary is where habitation starts, where people are living. But Bandipur was the first tiger reserve in the country to notify an eco-sensitive zone outside the park to help protect what is inside the park. The eco-sensitive zone extends 10 kilometers from the park boundaries and means that certain activities are prohibited or restricted in that area, whether mining, quarrying or commercial hotels. To help reduce the entry of people living close to the park into the forest to collect firewood, gas cylinders are supplied to people living in the nearby villages. With this choice of fuel available, there is less chance of people venturing into the forest, which is a risk both to them and to the wild animals they may encounter.
Through an NGO called Namma Sangha, we had distributed almost 3,000 LPG connections free of cost to the local people, and it has become a very popular program which has been extended to the entire state now.
Bandipur is part of a larger forest area that crosses state boundaries into Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and the corridors between these habitats are of vital importance. There is attention being paid to preserving these corridors to allow wild animals a relatively safe passage from one zone to another.
Karnataka has done a very creditable thing wherein right from Banerghatta National Park, which starts close to Bangalore, 20 kilometers from Bangalore, there is a continuity of protected areas right up to Maharashtra with very few small breaks. Banerghatta Park joins Kaveri Sanctuary, then the MM Hills, then BR Hills, then we have Bandipur, Nagarhole, Brahmagiri, Pushpagiri, Talkaveri, Kudremukha, Someshwara, right up to Dandeli Anshi. So we have a total protected area network with some small breaks which also we are trying to add to national parks.